Hi, it's Tony again, and it's been a while since our last major update, hasn't it? Nearly 3 months by my calculation, but I'm happy to let you know that version 1.6 is our biggest release yet. It's full of lots of great features I think you're really going to enjoy. I'm just going to summarize things really quickly and then get into more detail. First, we've done some bug fixes, including one that might have frustrated some of you. We've added an important enhancement to the QLOC feature. Starting with version 1.6, you can single tap on the capture screen to toggle on and off an overlay showing your QLOC locations. No more having to remember the addresses in your head. And then starting with version 1.6, QromaScan is a universal application, meaning that it can run natively on all iOS devices. Next, we've added multi-device support using iCloud, meaning that you can now scan photos on your iPhone and then see the results almost immediately on a device like an iPad. Finally, perhaps our most exciting feature yet is that starting with version 1.6, you can import untagged images from your hard drive and then tag them using our voice recognition system. I think you're really going to like what you see. So I don't usually announce bug fixes in the update video, but there was one that might have caused you and I a bunch of heartache, and I want to talk about it. Starting with version 1.5, if you took a particular sequence when using our voice recognition engine to tag your photos with the date and location, you might have found that the date was never entered. The location was, but the date was not. Behind the scenes, we were correctly recognizing the date, but we just weren't placing it in the metadata panel. And it was only until after the application was fully quit did the pattern reset and allow the dates to come back to the metadata panel correctly. I'm really sorry about those of you impacted by this bug, but it's fixed for good now. How many of you have been using the new QLOC feature to help you precisely tag locations in your photos? Since we implemented this feature, there was one flaw in it. Once you imported a QLOC file, you had to remember the assigned location. With version 1.6, we added 2 new enhancements to help you use this feature more effectively. First, you can now single tap in the capture zone to show an overlay of your QLOC locations and their presets. While this overlay is on, you can use any of the normal capture gestures if you'd like, or you can single tap again to dismiss it. Next, if you've removed a few QLOC locations and added some others, you may find that your presets are no longer contiguous. We now have a Reorder button in the Custom Places panel that will reorder your locations again, starting from 1. I hope these changes will make QLOC easier for you to use. QromaScan is now a universal application, and what that means is it should look great on every iOS device, including the lowly iPod Touch all the way up to the giant 13-inch iPad Pro. And as a benefit of doing this, we've also made the gallery and some other panels work both in portrait and landscape mode. Before, the images would only appear in portrait mode, but now you can rotate the screen on any device to take advantage of the wider space. One of the reasons we made QromaScan a universal application was we wanted you to be able to enjoy the images you've taken with QromaScan on other devices you might own. So here's my iPhone, and I have iCloud turned on, and I just want to show you what it would be like to add a new device. Here's an iPad I have running in a simulator, and I have just installed QromaScan on it. After I launch the app for the first time, I should see this little dialog come up asking me if I want to choose local storage or iCloud. If I pick local, none of my photos will come over, but if I pick iCloud, QromaScan goes through a one-time migration, which I'll start now. After a minute or so, QromaScan will move not only my photos over, but all of my settings, which include my custom names and my locations and other things like that. So as my images start to appear, one of the things that I can do with this larger screen is to use the built-in photo editor to edit my images more precisely. Here's an image that I want to just desaturate and make black and white. Now, as soon as I save this image, it gets saved right back to my iPad and then pushed up to iCloud, and I should see it on my iPhone and my Mac. There we go. Another benefit is I can use my larger screen real estate to add custom locations on my iPad and then have them appear on any other iOS device I have connected. Let me show you. I'm just going to pick a new custom location that I want to use later for tagging photos. I'll just type in this address and see the location I want. After I save this location, it gets pushed up to iCloud, and I should see it on my iPhone in less than a minute. There it is. So that's multi-device support. Now you can run QromaScan on all of your iOS devices, and your photos and settings will stay in sync. Our biggest new feature of the 1.6 release is called QromaScan Import. As you know, you can tag any photo you've scanned with QromaScan using our unique voice recognition system. Now you can bring in untagged images into QromaScan and tag them quickly with the tools you're already used to. QromaScan Import can help you create searchable, industry-standard metadata for any image you have. We've built some powerful batch editing features into the import function, and I think it's the easiest way to tag a photo. Let me show you how it works. QromaScan Import is implemented as a one-time in-app purchase. To unlock this feature, tap on the Purchase button and you will be asked by the App Store for your password to complete the purchase. Once purchased, you can unlock it on any device sharing your Apple ID by tapping on the Restore Purchase button. So here are some untagged photos that I found. Some of them have been downloaded from Facebook or other places on the internet. They all have different file names, and if I look at them in my image viewer, I can see that there really aren't any usable metadata tags in them. Getting these images into QromaScan is easy. Starting with version 1.6, the QromaScan app creates a folder called Import in your QromaScan iCloud Drive folder. To get these images into QromaScan, I'm just going to drag select them and then hit Command-C to copy them. Then I'm going to navigate over to my QromaScan iCloud Drive folder and then open the Import folder. From there, I just type in Command-V to paste them into the import directory. This action will make a copy of these images and leave the originals in place. It's always best to do it this way, and after my images are properly tagged, I can safely delete the originals if I want. Once the images have been dropped into the import directory, give it about a minute or so to get up to iCloud. Then after that's done, tap on the Import button and you should see all those images in the QromaScan app. There are two ways to tag images with the import feature. The first way is to make a batch selection. I'm just going to tap on the batch button and then I'll see batch selector icons. I just need to tap on the images that I want to add to my batch and then I'll see an indicator down at the bottom showing me how many images I've selected. When I'm ready to tag, I just tap on the tag icon down at the bottom. In the tagging screen, I can swipe left and right to see the 3 images that I've selected. These happen to be images of the magnificent California Theater in downtown San Jose. It just so happens that I have this exact location stored in my QLOC settings. So on this screen, I just need to tap the image for a second or two and then release to see my QLOC overlay. Now I'm going to tap on the pink bar to give the date I want to tag these images with. June 8th, 2015. Great. Next, I'm going to give the QLOC location so I can tag this location precisely. Location 4. Lastly, I'm going to tap onto the green chevron down at the bottom to apply the tags to my images. Now, since I'm using batch selection mode, you get this extra confirmation dialog showing that you're going to tag all 3 images at once. That's it. The images are now tagged. Now, when I go back to the import dialog, these images are gone because they've graduated and gone to the gallery. The tagged images have been uploaded to my Mac as well, and I can open them up to see the metadata I've just created. Everything looks spot on, and I've got the date and the exact locations applied to these images. Back to my iPad, let's look at a second way to tag images. I can tap straight onto an image and go right to the tagging screen. From there, I can add metadata just the same way that I do when I'm scanning images. Here's a photo of my daughter Lucia on a recent trip to New York. In this case, I don't have the exact location in my QLOC file, but this is the MoMA, and I don't think that we're going to have trouble finding it using our location engine. In this case, I'm going to give the date and location together. April 15th, 2016, Museum of Modern Art, New York, New York. Lucia Knight. There we go. Now I'm going to tap onto the green chevron to tag this image. It turns out that I have another image taken in the same place with Lucia, so while I have the metadata already set up, I'll just slide over and tag it as well. Just another tap on the green chevron and I'm done. Here's another image in New York, but it's a day earlier. Since my date and location are different, I'm just going to single tap on the place date bar just to clear it and add a new tag. April 14th, 2016, Liberty Island, New York, New York. That looks great. I'm just going to tap on the green chevron to tag it. Finally, here's little Lulu showing me the size of the very first subway rat she's ever seen. April 14th, 2016, 135th Street Station, New York, New York. Again, I'll tap on the green chevron when I'm done. That's it. All my images are now in the gallery, and I'm just going to hop over to my Mac to see the tags that I've just written out. Here's the Statue of Liberty image, and it's tagged right to Liberty Island. My other images came on spot on as well, including my other tags. So that's QromaScan Import, and I think it's going to make tagging images that you've got sitting around your computer much easier. And that wraps things up for our version 1.6 update. I've included links here to 3 resources that should be useful to you as you start using the update. The first is a link to our updated online user manual. It covers all of our new features in greater detail than I've just been able to do. Second, if you should encounter any problems using QromaScan, please open a support ticket on our site. We usually get back to you within a day. Finally, take a moment to stop by our community forum. It's a great place to provide us some feedback on what you think of these updates and what features you'd like to see in future releases. Until we talk again, happy scanning.